Hey guys, it's the Black Man in Japan with another sort of update for you, life update or whatever. I thought this one might be good for people that are thinking about living here, are coming to Japan, and the problems with being a fan of something niche. The problem of being a fan, a gamer, a geek, a nerd, or whatever the case may be. You're gonna get ostracized a lot at times, depending upon the peers you hang out with. Sorry, cars are a little noisy right now. But just tell you the brief scenario what happened today. I have a good amount of friends, a variety of friends. Not a lot here in Fukuoka, not as much as I did in Tokyo, or Osaka for that matter. Fukuoka people are a little harder to deal with and relate to. And particularly for this particular issue is the things that people tend to be into here in Fukuoka. It's very normal shit. I would say very casual shit. Just eating and talking about places they went to eat, drinking and talking about the types of drinks and conversations like that about food and locations and things like that. Amongst the problem with the language and the location and things like that, okay? But you know, a lot of the conversation will be in Japanese. So I had this, I was with one of my friends today, and they're rich, very rich actually. I have two friends out here that are fairly well off actually, and so we were on this private yacht or whatever, doing this thing, and I was meeting a bunch of new people, and it was kind of, this issue sometimes happens with me a bit, only because when meeting new people, it's very hard to find like a common interest. And you know, there was something, I think somehow Kitakyushu was brought up, and Kitakyushu is where the 4DX is, and which is, you know, 3D, 4DX, and I think that's what started off this reputation of me being otaku, basically. And I really hate that. I hate when people call me otaku. I know in America it's actually looked upon as something good, but I really hate that, because, and the reason why I hate it, among many reasons, but one, it's not something that's really positive out here. If you look at any, like, if you Google like AKB fan or like otaku, Japanese otaku, the idea of an otaku is someone, you know, it's what we used to make fun of a long time ago, like the overweight computer hacker nerds with glasses, balding, like that, you know, like these people that don't have a life, so to speak. Like, it's very frustrating for me, so I hate getting that label of otaku. But I also know that if someone can't classify something, and it's not something they can relate to, or if it seems too, they call it maniac. And so that's how it started kicking off the 4DX, and you know, the fact that I go to Korea to watch a movie because it comes out so goddamn late in Fukuoka, or in Japan, and all these things. And the thing that kind of set me off a little bit at the end of the day was when I was leaving, you know, and I try to listen to the conversations, even though I don't understand fully what's going on. I try to listen to the conversation to the best of my ability. Where the fuck are my keys? I hope my keys are in my backpack. Oh shit. And I try to listen to the conversation to the best of my ability. And I was, you know, I left early, because, not early, but I just left before everybody else, because it was just kind of enough. Like, I can only go through a few hours of listening to Japanese and not really having much to say, not having like the same common interest, so to speak. And then the only common interests are, when I can't actually talk, it's going to be about teaching English or something about America. And you know, anybody that's lived here long enough knows exactly the struggle with that. The struggle with being a foreigner and trying to have conversations with Japanese people, common interest Japanese people not sharing the same interest because they're not really interested. They wouldn't know the difference between 720 and 1080p, okay? Like 4DX and 4K. And I'm not saying that they should, but for Americans, you know, that's a huge thing. That's a kind of a, you know, for example, my friend has never been to an IMAX movie. And she doesn't really know what IMAX really is all about, but you know, that's something we grew up with, or I grew up with, since I was fucking 10 years old or so, you know, when they had the IMAX at the Science Center. So anyways, to wrap this up, when I was leaving this area, this social circle or whatever, and it was the first time I was meeting him, and she was just kind of reminding everybody, okay, this is Aka-san, and like, hello, and you know, so don't forget. And she was like, you should introduce yourself, you should say I'm otaku. And that's the part that kind of was like, what? And I was like, and I was casual about it, and I was just like, but I'm not otaku. Like, you know, I like certain things, but I'm not obsessed with certain shit that, you know, I can't get a girlfriend, can't fuck or whatever like that. Though, I guess maybe the other reason a lot of that got put into perspective for them, it was easy for them to classify, is the fact that I don't have a girlfriend. So for them, it's like, okay, if the only thing, like, and then that's the other thing, that I stay home, especially recently, with this particular friend that I have. Sometimes she invites me out or whatever, and it's like, I can't because I gotta edit some fucking reactions, or the Flash TV show, I have to edit the season finale because the demand is high. So sometimes, as I've mentioned before, for you guys or certain subscribers, I'm sacrificing social life, and you know, that has some effects in the end. So anyways, for them, or this particular friend, I'm staying at home. So I'm always at home like an otaku would be. So it's rare that I go out, or I'm becoming like a shut-in or whatever. So I get some of the points, the way it gets classified, especially for Japanese people that just don't know any better, that America, you know, the world of being interested in something, people talking about movies, people talking about TV shows, is not fucking uncommon out in America. You know, people get around the water cooler or whatever during break time, and they talk about TV shows that they saw last night. They talk about what they watched on TV the night before. That's very normal in American culture, where out here, if you're that enthusiastic about something, that enthusiastic about a product, you're considered a nerd, a geek, a loser, someone who, or maybe not, maybe loser is too far in, but it's not looked up. It's looked upon as just someone who is really so into something that it's so niche that you're actually cut off from the rest of society like that. So this stuff kind of bothers me a bit, because it does make me think. So on further informal, the more time I stay here, the longer, if I choose to stay here, like, the only people that I can, like, I'm actually looking forward to my live chat with my subscribers, fans, whatever. I'm looking forward to that more than anything that I really was doing this weekend, only because it's the only time and the only chance I get to really have to chat with people about common interests, you know, and common things, and we could probably talk about, you know, I was thinking about live streaming my reaction to Game of Thrones. I thought about that. I might even do that tomorrow. So yeah, this is what I was thinking about, and that's the problem with being interested in a niche market or in niche things, and kind of being crazy about something. That's why, you know, for example, one of two of my best friends, his whole room in Texas is decorated with Superman stuff, and you know, I used to be that way. I used to decorate my room with lots of shit. I don't anymore, not anymore. There's a few reasons for that. One of them, it kind of felt like a waste if I was going to get up and move again, because I always feel like I'm going to move and never really settle into an apartment. The other reason is I did that with my old apartment and back in Los Angeles before I leave. Then after a while, I just kind of felt like, okay, maybe it's enough. It's enough. Like it doesn't mean much to anything. Like, you know, if I were gonna do that again, I would only do it for the YouTube stuff, because especially here in Japan, nobody would appreciate it anyways. But then furthermore, lastly, especially being single, that's not something that you want to take a girl back to during after date night or whatever. Like, maybe something small is okay, right? But like your whole wall decorated with anime posters and shit, like it, especially here in Fukuoka, it's such a turn off, and you get ostracized so bad if you're into something a little too much. So a little frustrating. A little frustrating, which is kind of strange, because if you were to fucking decorate your apartment full of sports posters or music bands and shit, nobody would even blink an eye. Sometimes, but you know, once you pass your early 20s into your late 20s, early 30s, whatever, it's like all that shit, like you're supposed to have left it behind, I guess. You know, the world in America, it's changed a lot. You know, like a lot of that, like man-child fandom has been accepted a little more. You can actually be a geek, or you can be interested, you can be a fan of something and still raise kids. Oh my God, right? Which is really stupid, because, you know, it's like the whole reason I'm into Batman is because my father was into Batman, and one of my last memories of my father is him actually giving me the Dark Knight Returns, and he signed it over to me. That was the hand-me-down. So, and then, you know, actually he wanted to name me R2-D2 when I was born. I heard he wanted to name me R2-D2 or Shaka Zulu or Chewbacca, and I had no idea what those words meant, except Shaka Zulu, great African warrior. But I had no idea what a R2-D2 was, or what was the other one I said? Chewbacca. I didn't know what any of those things were until like way later, when actually they re-released Star Wars, which is pretty funny, right? So anyways, that's all I wanted to share with you guys, is just a little bit of advice. And let's look at it the other way. If you were to actually meet up with people, and I've done this as well, I was like, okay, well, I kind of like anime at times, and like you know, I would kind of want to meet up with some people that are interested in the Avengers or like the Marvel movies, because there is a fandom out there for that stuff. But sadly, kind of, I never uploaded the videos for you guys, and I should one day. When you go meet up at these otaku events, it is exactly what that stigma is, and like they're kind of shy, and they're not really like, I don't want to say they're not normal, but they're normal in their own right, but they're not as not sociable. So it's quite frustrating, guys. I don't really have a simple solution for this one, but I definitely wanted to let you know how my day went and give you guys some advice if you ever plan to come live here or whatever. You know, just find your own thing. That's what I always have had to do myself. Peace, guys. Oh, we gotta split the channel up like the Infinity Zone, the stones. I'm gonna put one on my head.